Is that my sister's ring?
That's how I know this is a BS story, because you didn't even tell her that you did it, which means there was nothing sentimental about this. Damn. You're not getting that BS past me.
It was her late sister's engagement ring. I asked my fiance and he admitted it. It is the exact same ring. He also admitted he hid the truth because he knew I'd react this way.
There's no sentimental value there. This is a new woman. This is a new wife. No, remember her another way. Don't remember her on my finger. If you passed away, would you want your husband to give your ring to the next woman that he proposes to?
You do not have to pass her ring down. I don't even think she would appreciate that. I mean, she's dead.
When she's up in the clouds like, hey, bro.
Yeah, that's
don't get my ring. Bury me with that, buddy. No, I don't even want you meeting new women.
Exactly. She should feel like, okay, this is my story. This is a whole new chapter. Having somebody message you talking about, is that my late sister's ring? I would be like, it better not be.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Love for Debate. We are back telling some couples relationship stories and hashing it out. But first, before we get into our story, please hit that like and subscribe button and keep us growing, keep us doing as well, and help us to continue giving you guys great feedback. And feel free to send us your relationship stories too. I know we don't say that every episode, but send it to us. But in the meantime, hit that like and subscribe button for us, help us grow, and thank you for sticking around and hanging out with us for this long. Without further ado, I'm gonna let Karushi get into her story today. I'm sure she's got a good one as usual. Let's get it.
Let's do it. All right. My fiance and I have been together for 4 years. He is a widower. His childhood sweetheart tragically passed away, giving birth to their now 8-year-old daughter. I've always respected her memory and have never tried to erase her. Last week, he proposed, and I was so thrilled and said yes. But after posting photos online, his former sister-in-law messaged me asking if it was her late sister's engagement ring. I asked my fiance and he admitted it. It is the exact same ring. When I confronted him, he said it's a beautiful, sentimental ring and didn't see the point in buying a new one. I told him it's not about the money. If he had reset the diamond into a new band, I'd be fine. But wearing the exact same ring makes me feel like I'm stepping into someone else's life rather than starting our own. To make it worse, when I asked if he planned on giving me her wedding band too, he said probably, maybe. He also admitted he hid the truth because he knew I'd react this way. I left the ring and I'm staying with my mom now. Both families are unfortunately involved. My family is upset by his lack of transparency, and his family thinks I'm overreacting and being disrespectful to his late wife's memory. I don't feel jealous of his late wife, but an engagement ring is supposed to symbolize our relationship. Instead, it feels like I'm wearing a symbol of theirs. Am I making this a bigger deal than it needs to be? That's a crazy one.
Yeah.
Not a relatable one, right? Because how often does that happen? But
well, I would imagine that. No, I ain't gonna lie. It's probably some dudes that try to get off getting their ring that they bought for someone else.
You think so?
Heck yeah. I mean, depending on how much you spent on it, it depends because when you buy a ring, there's a return window, sure. But if the return window is up, you ain't getting much value out of the ring. Like, it's hard to resell a ring, and you very, very rarely will get what you paid for it. Especially, depending on like where you bought it from. Now, there's some places that can, obviously give you the paperwork, but still, selling a ring on the market that's a whole different monster. So yeah, I would imagine that people have tried to get off the double ring debacle before. However, I feel like this one, I'm gonna get kind of straight to the point on this one. I understand the wife passing away, and is it his wife that passed away?
Yeah,
I understand that, and that's for him to deal with and decide. That has nothing to do with her, and it has nothing to do with her, and that's not her. I don't want to say like it's not her problem, because that sounds harsh, but like why would she have to, even the word suffer sounds bad, but why would she, lose any sort of benefit because his like late wife passed away? And yeah, giving her the same ring that your late wife had, there's no sentimental value there. This is a new woman. This is a new wife. If you didn't want to buy a new ring, that's your prerogative. But the reasoning is BS to me. Like, if it was like, hey, listen, I can afford a new ring, I would accept that more than I would be like, hey, this is my late wife's and it's to her memory. No, like
Right.
remember her another way. Don't remember her on my finger. Like don't remember her through me, because I understand the pain and the struggle and the suffering that comes from like losing a wife. But this woman, this new woman, deserves a chance of like her happiness at her like happily ever after, right?
Yeah.
Like she deserves her own happily ever after. I don't feel like she should have to pay for you know, I don't feel like she should have to pay the cost of like the guy she does fall in love with, like his late wife died, so now she can't like, so now she has to deal with that forever
Yeah.
and can't get, you know, a new ring. Now again, I'm not saying you have to get somebody a new ring. That's not what I'm saying. But if the reasoning you didn't is because it's to honor your late wife, that's nah, you can't get that off. I'm sorry. Yeah, like I said, if your thing was like you can't afford it, that's fine. But you know, but if that was the reason, then we have a discussion. You know, then I would probably like, well, listen, you know, you just be happy with the ring. But like the reason is your wife. Why are we paying homage to your late wife with your new wife? I
Yeah.
understand, passed away, totally get that. New girl, she deserves a whole other kind of experience. In my, you know, maybe you could say something that changes my mind, but that's my immediate reaction.
No, because like we're actually on the same page with this
Okay,
one.
all right, yeah.
I was curious to know like how you were gonna feel because yeah, you could keep your late wife alive in other ways,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
But you do not have to pass her ring down. I don't even think she would appreciate that. I mean, she's dead.
Yeah,
So like,
she's like she's up in the clouds like, hey, bro,
yeah, like that's
don't give my ring
mine.
away.
That belongs to me.
Bury
Like,
me with that, buddy.
no,
I don't
it's
even
so
want you
crazy.
meeting new women.
Exactly.
Like, I'm about to haunt you.
A lot of people don't even want you to like remarry or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that, and even though he says it's sentimental, yes, but you're trying to then give it like a whole new like meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're kind of erasing your wife in a way because you're trying to like pass it on to somebody else who like doesn't need your late wife's ring. That would just be so.
This is not a thing, right? Like it's like if there's something you're passing down to the family, like your grandfather or your grandmother's ring, that's one thing.
That's something
or
different.
some sort of like some sort of thing you pass down to your children. Yeah, but we don't pass we don't pass like other, whether she passed away or not. Yeah, we don't pass her ring to the next woman.
You don't like
That's
reuse the
the
jewelry
ring.
that you
Yeah.
like gave to her.
And like you said, it has some sentimental value. I would do something different with the ring, right? Like
Absolutely. Okay, here were my thoughts. Give it to the 8-year-old daughter.
yeah.
And like
let the
maybe like
daughter
if you want to
use it.
wait a little longer, but like you can use like a chain and make it into like a necklace or something. That is passing it on to somebody who like she would love to have her mom's ring.
Yeah.
But instead you think that keeping her memory alive and like and it's so sentimental that you want to give it to a random woman at that. Like there's no
like, let's be realistic. I'm not like we like cut the BS, bro. You didn't want to buy another ring. I don't believe this whole like my wife, it was sentimental for my wife. I don't buy it at all. Like I think it's bullshit. I think you didn't want to buy another ring and spend more money on a ring. I don't know the financial situation here, unless you're like super well off. But I think I'm not buying it. I think that was your scapegoat for not getting another ring. But like you weren't even planning on. Here's the other thing. She found out through the sister, right? Or through like the sister.
She posted pictures of the ring on social media, and and the late wife's sister messaged her and was like, "Is that my sister's ring?"
That's how I know this is a BS story, because you didn't even tell her that you did it, which means there was nothing sentimental about this. There's nothing sentimental about this.
No.
You try to escape getting a new ring. Let's cut the crap. Like this is
That is such a good point. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
Because sentimental means I told you about it, and I want you to know.
I want you to know it is so important to me that you,
because you wouldn't have seen nothing wrong with it if it was like sentimental. You didn't want her to
So
find out
true.
because you didn't want to get another ring. You're not getting that
Damn.
BS past me. You're
No,
not getting
that's
that BS past me. Sorry,
crazy.
buddy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
yeah,
there's no pass to give to him on this one at all.
yeah.
Especially seeing it in that way, like no. And he wasn't even going to tell her. That's the crazy
That's
part.
I think that's where this comes to a problem. And again, it's another thing if you had the conversation and said, "Hey, this is what I want to do." That lets me know you genuinely see the sentimental. When something's sentimental, you tell people like you're like
Yeah.
almost like proud, not proud, but like you're almost you're willing to tell people like, "Hey, this has sentimental value to it. This is from my
Yeah.
late wife," and I feel like talk about communication. If I have like a really good relationship with you, I'm about to marry you. We should be in a really, really good place, right? Like we should be pretty close if we're about to get married. Then I would imagine I'm comfortable enough to like have a conversation where I say, "Hey, listen, um, and I even like her compromise where it's like take the diamond and put it in a different setting. All the money's from the diamond.
Yeah.
So like a setting could have cost you a couple grand, depending on unless she wants like just a plain halo or excuse me, a plain what do they call it, just the ring, like the gold with nothing on it.
Yeah.
I can't think of what they're called. But yeah, with no like extra diamonds on it or no extra kind of cuts or designs in it. I mean, you're looking at just buying gold, right? Like 14 karat, maybe 24 karat. You're looking at spending 1,000, couple grand, if that, with a new setting. I mean, that's not that crazy.
Yeah.
The
No.
diamond is what costs most, and she would have been cool with the diamond again. Because if you would have had the conversation,
Yeah.
you would have known
You
that.
would know that
And
she
it's
was
not
willing to
like-
compromise.
Yeah, and it's nothing to be like, hey, listen, like, obviously, my wife passed away. Because there is definitely like something to that, right? It's not like, you didn't divorce her, y'all didn't end on a horrible note. Like she passed away.
Yeah.
So you still love this woman.
Oh, of course. The love
she's gone.
never goes
Right.
away.
And I imagine as a new partner, like having a new partner, she's already still got to deal with whatever comes with you have losing your wife. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure she compromises on a lot of other things that come like that you still deal with from like a late wife. I would imagine, right? Like if you still feel hurt, you still feel pain, she's probably there through you, even though for her, it's like it's still another woman to her.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she has to be understanding. Like there's no like you can't be jealous or insecure about it. The woman's passed away at this point. It's not
Yeah.
like she, short of being a grave robber or something. Like what is it? At the end of the day, it's not like you're having to worry about another woman. It's that And I'm sure that what comes with that is you feeling maybe every so often slighted or second place because you're like, had the wife not have died, I wouldn't even be here, right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if that's her experience, but I would imagine there's probably sometimes that happen. It could happen. I've never been through it, and maybe he's super attentive to like her needs, and he doesn't. Talk about the ex-wife much, but I would imagine, again, if I said ex-wife, I'm sorry, passed away. I don't even know what to call it, like the wife that passed away, his
Yeah.
late wife, right? Yeah, I would imagine you probably, there's probably like some scarring or some pain, like you lost somebody you love. Like I'd imagine if I lost you, if I ever moved on, if I ever years later got in a relationship, like there's no replacing you. Like that's there's no replacing you, babe. You know it.
That's so sad to even think about.
Yeah, it is sad.
I feel the same about you.
There's
as well.
absolutely like there is no replacing you. Matter of fact, I had an ex that did pass away. Now she was an ex, but and she passed away while we were together. But even then, you were like super understanding of like.
Yeah.
I was pretty sad about that. I
Yeah.
mean, she was a long-term girlfriend I had in college, fairly popular girl. And obviously we weren't in a great place. And, but that's still somebody like I spent a portion of my life with and did love at one point.
Yes.
And
Yep.
she passed away, and that was hard for me to deal with. You were there for me. You kind of, you let me kind of go through it without, any sort of, insecure or jealous feelings or anything, bitterness about
Yeah.
it. And I talked to you about it, right? And so, and even now today, every so often it comes up, and you're totally fine with it. But so like even in that, and she was an ex, and you still kind of had to deal with that. So I'd imagine somebody who was like, he was fully in love and his wife passed away, I'm sure she has to deal with still, like, he probably still loves her and probably
Yeah,
still
probably
goes through it.
brings her up sometimes, especially with
Yeah,
when you have a daughter as well. It's like, he's
yeah,
probably talking to his daughter about what her mom was like. That's tough though, like her passing away during childbirth.
yeah,
My goodness, I can't
yeah.
even imagine.
I
That's
would.
supposed to be the most beautiful, like one of the most beautiful moments of your life,
Yeah, and every
turning
time you
into a
think about it,
tragedy.
yeah, no, that's like the yeah, it's hard to tie in like something so miraculous with
Yeah,
tragedy at
it's
the same
so
time.
sad.
I can't imagine that, and I absolutely will, like, am empathetic to the pain that could have, that
Mm-hmm.
it could cause, for sure, and I'm sure she is. So I hope he at least acknowledges that. But yeah, so at the very least, her sticking by him probably through a lot of that, and still feeling like maybe second place here and there, simply because like she's in the daughter's life now, but she's not the daughter's mom, right? So there's
Yeah.
like probably maybe a little bit of, again, this is me interjecting, or I could be totally wrong, could be like a perfect relationship, but again, he's given her a ring from his wife, so clearly, from his late wife, so clearly, like, she probably is dealing with stuff like that. I mean, that's just me speculating, but
Yeah, I feel like, those are some like normal emotions. Like even if you are speculating, like
hmm
those are just like normal emotions like one could feel
hmm
being in that type of situation.
right.
Or at
So
least has crossed your mind, like even if you don't like dwell on it or act
sure,
on it. You know what I
sure,
mean? Like
yeah, no, exactly. So like when I think about the whole ring thing, like at the very least, yeah, like, I don't know, it just seems fairly careless, lacks courtesy, a little bit of selfishness there. Because if you are at the same time, for him, if he's gonna pursue a new relationship, then it's if he's gonna pursue a new relationship, then it's not fair if he does it and is still not fully, like, recovered, right?
yeah.
That's on him.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I
true.
mean? So it's like, if you're gonna fully, it's almost like this is probably a bad analogy, but it's like, if I cheat on you and then you still stay with me through it, after like I've apologized and done some work, it doesn't mean that I don't gotta like earn trust back, but also like you have to at some point be okay with it. Like, you can't bring it up all the time, right? Because like you've decided to move forward with me.
Yes.
Not the best analogy, but I say that to say, if he's decided in his life that he's going to move on with a new woman, then it's time, then you move on with a
You
new
move
woman, and
on.
you allow her again to experience, like, love, what love for her feels like. She didn't lose a
Yes.
partner, right? And if you're not ready for that, then don't move on with somebody.
Mm.
But if you like move on with somebody, and then like you're giving them, I mean, even if there was some genuineness, even if he was genuine in giving her the ring because it had sentiment, I'm not buying that BS at all. But like, even like let me, even if I grant him that, even if I concede and grant him that, then that just says, for me, that it just lacks, it lacks courtesy. It lacks, I don't know what other word to use, but it just, yeah, it's like he did not consider, it lacks consideration.
Yeah.
And he didn't consider her, how she would feel. And it's like, no, buddy, you moved on with a new girl. You need to treat her like brand new girl. You decided to bring her into this. She, and so, of course, I'm sure there's things that she's accepted on her end, but there's things that he needs to accept on his end too. And one of them is that, like, yeah, man, like, you brought her into, like, she loves you. Y'all getting married. So it's time to, you know what I mean? Like, the late wife thing, I get it, but you brought me into this.
Yeah.
So don't
It's
make me
not it's
pay
not up
for it.
to her to like
Yeah,
keep her memory alive. And that sounds like really harsh. Um
it
but it
does.
is true though. Like this is her life, and she should feel like, she's not, I guess, like not necessarily like replacing the wife, but kind of acting as like a placeholder because
hmm
of like what's happened.
Yeah,
Like she should feel like, okay, this is like my story. Like this is
yeah,
This is like our story.
Yeah.
This is our,
It's a new
this is a
chapter.
whole new
It's a
chapter.
new chapter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you got to treat it as such. And some remnants of the last chapter might come up. But at the same time, just like an ex and just like a baby mama, or it's like any of those. But and I know death is it's different, right? Like it's different still. But yeah, again, that's not her. She does. I hate to use the word problem, but that's not her problem. Yes, she did enter into a relationship with a guy who lost his wife. So I mean, I'm sure, again, like I said, I'm sure she gives grace in that way as well. And from hearing the story, like I said, she's absolutely willing to compromise. For the other side, for the other family to tell her that she's overreacting, is that what they told her? She's overreacting, or she's blowing it out of proportion. That's not for them to say. That's not their call. And it's not their business.
And to say that she's disrespecting the late wife,
that's unfair.
That's just so crazy.
And it's an unserious conversation.
She's been like so supportive this whole time.
There's not a go try that with anybody. That's not going to really fly.
You know what's so crazy is I feel like I would be livid if that were to happen. First of all, I mean, because clearly the sister, the late wife's sister, their family, right? She sees a problem with that. But then his family just thinks that it's like absolutely normal.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like bizarre. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I think that would be frowned upon.
Yeah. I don't see any girl going for that. At least not without the conversation first.
Yeah.
Like finding out randomly that's a problem.
And post pictures and like having somebody message you talking about, is that my late sister's ring? I would be like, it better not be.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be so like mortified and so embarrassed.
Oh, and like you said, good point. Yeah. Her family, the late wife's family. So it's not even the girl's family. It's the late wife's family that saw an issue with that.
Yeah.
So they're not even like, so if they have an issue with it.
What in the world?
Then, then his family absolutely is not even like relevant in this situation whatsoever. You know?
For them to think that it's normal and that and they're trying to say that, the new fiance is disrespecting the late wife, but the late wife's family is like, you're disrespecting the late our sister or our daughter by
right. The late wife's family gets to make the call on who's disrespecting who.
Absolutely.
Like that's
and
for them
they're
to say.
Spot on.
Yeah.
I think that there is this type of like the late wife isn't here to have a say in how she wants her ring to be distributed. Okay. Yeah. Like, I think that if it's sentimental, like, it's okay to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Like, if we were in that position and like, I knew, obviously you were just torn up over like losing, your late wife and you had a ring, I wouldn't want you to give it to me. That would just be so crazy. Right. But I would be okay with you holding on to that ring forever if you want. Sure. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly. Like, there's some alternatives here.
Absolutely.
I mean, half of the women make jokes that if I pass away, you better not even move on. So I can imagine we're like, tell us, y'all, like, I want you to answer the question, like, forget being the girl who got the ring right from, because I think most girls would just say like, no, that's unacceptable. If you passed away, would you want your husband to give your ring to the next woman that he proposes to? Like, I'd really love to hear y'all's feedback here.
I would love to know as well. And my answer to you, I'm letting you know right now, I want our daughter to have it.
Yeah.
Definitely keep it in the family.
Right.
But I would want Zoe to have that like little piece of me as well.
Yeah.
And then like maybe even in the future, if she wants to just use it as her wedding ring.
Yeah.
Of course it would require like maybe you having to like give it to, her boyfriend or like whatever to kind of facilitate it.
Like that's normal. That happens a lot.
I think that Like, that's important. That's keeping it
And
in the
sometimes the
family.
girl don't even like that one. She like, I don't want the ring from your mama.
Exactly. They'll be like, oh, like mom
yeah.
had terrible taste.
Like sometimes they don't even
She
like
had
that. So
terrible
like
taste.
even in that, it's just like that's a risky one.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, you could hold on to it. If it's sentimental to you,
Mhm.
it doesn't always mean it's going to be sentimental to
Yeah.
others. So just like,
Yeah, I don't see a scenario where I don't know. Like I said, maybe there's some girls out there who are just like, yeah, I don't care. Like, give me your late wife's ring. But I just like, I don't know. I feel like the masses would probably the mass amount, like a high percentage of women would be totally against that. Whether you're the one that passed away or you're the new one. Like, I
yeah.
think I don't know. I could be call me crazy. Call me crazy. I don't know. We had to take a poll. Like I guess, like I said, if you like leave a comment and let us know if you would, if you'd allow like, and if you were the woman, like, would you care if your husband proposed to you with like a late wife's ring? And then even further, if you found out through the late wife's sister, not even through him, I think
Yeah.
anybody would be, even just that in itself. Maybe there's a world where you had a conversation and she would have been like, okay, like I understand, like that's okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't even give her the chance. He didn't even give her the chance to
Yeah.
do that.
He literally said
He said, "No, you're gonna take my late wife's ring. You're gonna remember her one way or the other. You're not even gonna know it." So it's like,
It's so crazy.
I don't
And
know.
he said that he knew she was going to be upset.
Yeah.
So it's like you knew you were wrong. It's like one thing to think to yourself like, oh, like this is so sentimental. I think it'll be so beautiful to give it to her, which is a crazy thought. But it could be the case. But like he knew.
Mm-hmm.
He literally told himself, I'm not going to tell her. She's going to be so upset if she knows about
like
this.
yeah. So he knew, like right.
But then you're so dumb, okay? Because you didn't think that she was going to like post pictures and then like the late wife's family
I guess
member or
there's
friend was not going to like peep
I don't
the
know.
exact same ring.
I mean, maybe. I guess there's a chance. Like,
I mean, it is 8 years later, so maybe it was just not a thought in his mind.
yeah, there's a chance where like they don't recognize the ring. They don't even remember what the ring looked like. I mean, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it just
It had to have been a very distinct
could
ring,
be. Yeah, it could
maybe.
be. I mean, once you get a shape down and a style of ring, I mean, yeah, it's pretty. Aside from it maybe being like a princess cut with just a like a gold, a 24 karat gold
Mhm.
ring, and there's like nothing like specific about it. Sure, you could like maybe just speculate that it could be the same ring or it could be a different ring or whatever. But yeah, like you get any sort of extra diamond or it had some sort of extra cut or it had some unique shape, if it's an oval or if it's if it's if it has some sort of setting, like the depending on where the like the setting that the diamond sits in. Like once you start getting kind of intricate in those things, yeah, I mean rings are pretty easy to kind of point out. So it's definitely something that you could like be like, oh yeah, that kind of looks like the ring that she had, especially if she was like proud of the ring and showed it off and like she always had it on and stuff. And I'm sure how girls are. They're like, oh, that's a beautiful ring.
Oh,
So
of
you know what I
course,
mean? Like, but it don't
yeah.
take much. Like you don't have to add a bunch of features to the ring for the ring to be a unique, different, and the ring even 8 years later could technically stand out. But he may just not have known that that's like the family would recognize it. I mean, a guy wouldn't really think that. Like you would think you could pull that off.
Yeah, of course.
Which he did think he did. Okay, so question outside of this, because obviously I feel like we just feel the same right here.
We do.
What's her question? I guess is she overreacting or what's like?
Yeah,
What should she do? I don't know what she should do. I mean, at this point, like,
Yeah,
get the ring back.
she
Don't
just
wear the
wants to
ring
know
until.
if she's like making it
Yeah.
into like a bigger deal than like
I
what
would
it should
like,
be.
hey, listen, I would give the ring back and say, this isn't my ring. Like,
Yeah.
technically, it's not even
It's-
mine,
it's
and I'm
not
not
mine.
wearing this ring. If it makes you feel away, and maybe you do continue. I don't know. I would feel. I can't speak for a woman, but I would definitely feel weird even just wearing the ring. Like it doesn't feel mine anymore.
Yeah, no, because
This doesn't feel like mine.
you-
This wasn't mine.
when you go and you're like building your ring, like it's based off of like the woman and her personality and the
Mhm.
things that she loves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, yeah, that would just be really strange
Yeah.
to put on another woman's ring
Yeah.
and you have to look at that every single day.
Yeah, now you found out it's someone else's ring. Yeah, I would feel
yeah,
like I don't want to wear this other person's ring, and it doesn't
nope.
feel like mine. This
And
is like
at that point, like I would have to go with you to the jewelry store and just make sure that you're not doing some like
yeah.
weird
I
stuff.
would I
And
would like yeah. I would say if you want to use the diamond, I like the diamond cut, but new setting, and I don't
yep,
want it to look nothing like nothing like what you got it in, and
yeah, it was
I'm not
so
wearing it
crazy. She
until you do.
probably like she accepted it and she probably loved it.
Yeah, I wonder if she
That's the
does
sad
like it.
part.
Yeah.
I bet you she like still loved the ring.
Yeah, now it doesn't even feel
And
like
then
hers. It's
because
just,
that's
yeah.
because I mean there are some beautiful rings out there, like different styles and such, um but then also, like sometimes the man doesn't involve the woman in
Yeah.
like choosing the ring. And so she probably just thought like, wow, like this is beautiful. And he did that. He put this together for me. And then it's
Is there a
no.
what do you so like outside of that, what do you if you dated a guy or if you're about to marry a guy and his he was married but his wife passed away, like can you think of things you might be tolerant of in a relationship where a guy lost his wife? Like, you know what I
Mm,
mean? Where it's like, okay, if it was like your ex-girl or your ex-wife, this is a problem. But you lost your wife and this is actually like I can't say nothing. Okay, like okay, we'll just get specific because I'm just kind of spitball on top of my head.
yeah.
I have pictures in my phone of her.
Okay. I would be okay with that.
Okay.
Yep.
I have nudes in my phone of her. I'm being funny now, but actually that was like
No, I know.
no nudes?
No,
No nudes? Okay.
no nudes
No
because
nudes.
then like she's still like, you're not with her anymore. We got to get rid of the nudes.
No, that just came off the top
That's
when I said the
hilarious.
picture
That's
thing.
hilarious.
Um, hmm. Yeah, I can't think. I'm trying to think of stuff like that you might keep, but like could be potentially be a problem.
I've heard of people keeping clothes of
Yeah,
their like loved one who's
yeah,
passed. I would be okay with like belongings,
yeah,
but like don't have a full closet because baby, she's not coming back.
yeah,
Like we gotta like pack up some things or like give some things to the daughter, like you know what I mean. But
yeah.
um, like because she has passed, I feel like I would be okay with almost anything.
Can I tat her name on me after the fact and put like the years?
You might need to see a therapist at this point.
This is somebody I love. Like you got to. I think it's hard to think
Yeah.
about in terms of like somebody passed away because you kind of just think of it in terms of like this is some girl you used to be with and date and or you were married to, but like technically like you lost somebody.
And
Like this is lost.
you would
Right.
still be with them
Yeah.
if that were not the case.
Yeah, like you
So,
lost a person, so it's a tragedy, right? It's like,
honestly-
and it's the mother of your children, right? So like, we're
Yeah.
not talking just like again, you broke up with an ex or you got a divorce. We're talking like you loved somebody. If this was like a mom or a daughter or a son, like a sibling, no one would bat an eye at it. And
That's
it's
very
the
true,
same
yeah.
thing, if not worse, if it's a significant other.
Yeah.
Because we're talking like if a sibling or or a parent passes away, if a parent passes away, obviously tragic, right? But they're older. You're probably like at some point gonna happen. Like, but your wife is somebody you spending day in, day out with, probably your best friend at this point. Like you love her. You don't feel this type of love for literally anything else in your life. And you've
Yeah.
lost the most important thing in your life. So like this type of loss is probably way worse than a parent or way worse. I would say the only worst loss probably would be a child.
Yeah.
But outside of a child, I mean, it'd be sad if you lost a sibling, it'd be sad if you lost an uncle, it'd be sad if you lost, a best friend. But a significant other is probably the worst loss outside of a child. And so it's like, there are probably, there are probably some things, like you hold on to
Yeah.
forever because you didn't just break up with an ex, you lost somebody you loved, like
Yeah.
unconditionally. And I guess it's
And it
not
was so
fair to the new girl,
unexpected,
you
and
know. I guess it's not fair to the new girl. And like I said, maybe you don't move on until you, you know, maybe you don't move on until you're over or until you've dealt with, I guess, maybe healed or grieved properly. But I don't know. I could imagine that
yeah.
pain never goes away.
No, of course. Especially since you have like a child, like
Yeah,
I'm
every
sure he
time you look,
probably like
yeah,
sees her
her.
in her their daughter. Yeah, no, that's very true. And I just feel like, besides nudes, I'd probably be
Besides
okay.
news,
I'd probably be
yeah.
okay with like anything, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
like if you want to have a cake every year, like
Yeah.
on her birthday,
I'm kind of
like
with
let's
you
do
on that.
it. Like, like
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a sad, like tragic thing that happened.
Yeah.
Um,
And you got to kind of
and
take
you're there. You do.
your personal like
Yeah.
feelings about it out and just look at it in a way that this person lost somebody they loved.
Yeah.
They
And
didn't,
that's
yes, it was
really
somebody that
hard.
they were intimate with and were married to, but like at the end of the day, it's just somebody that was like they loved in their
Yeah.
life. And you kind of got to remove the relationship aspect out of it and just look at it as somebody like that they had in their life and they lost, like you would any other, like if it was a best friend, if it was a brother or sister,
Exactly.
a parent, you would, I would think you would have to like try to figure out to kind of visualize it on that scale as opposed to saying, oh, you were in love with this person and you used to, be intimate with this person. Like that's kind of
That wouldn't even be a thought in my
yeah,
mind.
well, it's just kind of
It's
like I feel like it's a human reaction, but like you have to kind of step outside of,
yeah.
just kind of like the jealous, insecure part of you that would probably just be natural, but you have to like keep reminding yourself that this person passed away.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to think of like, I guess shoot some grace there. But the ring thing, I think, like I said, I think, nah,
No.
don't do the ring.
That's
Don't do the ring. Or
insane.
have the conversation first and then just, that way this doesn't happen. So no, she's not overreacting. And I mean, my advice, I don't know if she's asking for what she should do, but I could imagine her not feeling like it's hers, and I would feel weird with like a ring that belonged. I mean, if it was a dude, if it was, it's hard to like switch the roles, but like, yeah, if this was like you had an ex-husband and you like gave me his ring, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm
Yeah.
cool on that.
That
Like,
would
you ain't even got to buy an expensive ring.
That would
Just
be
go
so
get like a
crazy.
$10 ring at Walmart, but like, I'm not wearing this one. I
Yeah.
ain't wearing this ring, And my condolences to him, and I'll help you pay respects, and I'll celebrate, life with you every year for him. Like it's fine. I'm not wearing his ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Now, if you got some old Jordans or something, I might put. What's his shoe collection looking like?
Not Jordan.
What's his shoe collection look like?
You're terrible.
Um,
You'd be going through his closet, wouldn't
Nah,
you?
nah,
Just
nah. Hey,
a little
listen.
try on.
Nah. That's weird, but I,
No, you
respect
wouldn't.
that, I guess. But
Yeah. No, I draw the line. I draw the line with jewelry and stuff. And I just think that I don't think that it's like a cause for a breakup or anything if he is willing to, replace that ring. Like get her like a new ring.
Yeah.
Something that like symbolizes your love together.
Yeah.
And the new chapter that
Because if
that
I'm
you're
her,
in.
I don't wear that anymore. So now it looks like we're not married. So
Yeah.
or engaged or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not wearing this. I'm not wearing this.
And he needs to just give it to his daughter. That is like
Yeah.
more sentimental than just giving it to a woman that you're marrying. Like,
Yeah. Nah,
not saying she's not special.
he was trying to dodge
but
the bullet.
like-
Well, clearly she ain't. If you didn't feel like getting a new ring for her, dog, like it looks bad. It looks real bad.
It does.
It looks real bad. I get it, but nah, bro. Sorry. No grace there. I don't know. That's really all I got. This one was pretty straight to it.
It was.
I don't even have no like perspective where I'm like, well, I could see a world where maybe
No, it was a hard no for us.
Yeah,
so.
unless you have the conversation first. But other than that,
Yeah.
not overreacting. So.
Yeah. No,
Easy enough.
that's it.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, thank you for tuning in. We'd love to hear your opinions on the subject and what you would do in the situation. And in the meantime, hit that like and subscribe button for me if I haven't said it enough, for us, if I haven't said it enough times yet. And without anything else, I guess that's it for this episode. I'm Breeze Oliver.
Karushi Drake, and we will see you next time.
All right, peace.